Welcome to Business with Louis, the show where we dive into the world of entrepreneurship and explore the concepts that shape the business landscape. Today, we're going to talk about the ethics of data monetization, a topic that's becoming increasingly important in our data-driven economy. So, what is the ethics of data monetization? Simply put, it refers to the principles and guidelines that govern how companies collect, use, and profit from customer data. With the rise of big data and analytics, businesses have access to vast amounts of information about their customers, which can be used to create targeted marketing campaigns, improve customer experiences, and drive revenue growth. However, this also raises important questions about privacy, consent, and fairness. To understand the core principles of the ethics of data monetization, let's break down some key concepts. First, there's the idea of informed consent, which means that customers should be aware of how their data is being collected and used. This is where transparency comes in. Companies should be clear about their data practices and provide customers with options to opt out or control how their data is shared. Another important principle is data minimization, which means that companies should only collect the data that's necessary for a specific purpose. This helps to reduce the risk of data breaches and ensures that customer information is not being used for unnecessary purposes. Influential thinkers like Shoshana Zuboff, author of The Age of Surveillance Capitalism, have highlighted the need for a more ethical approach to data monetization. According to Zuboff, companies should prioritize the well-being of their customers and ensure that their data practices are aligned with democratic values like transparency, accountability, and fairness. Over time, our understanding of the ethics of data monetization has evolved significantly. In the early days of big data, companies were largely focused on collecting as much information as possible, without necessarily considering the implications for customer privacy or consent. However, as high-profile data breaches and scandals have made headlines, there's been a growing recognition of the need for more responsible data practices. So, what does the ethics of data monetization look like in practice? Let's take a look at some real-world examples. Companies like Apple and Google have implemented robust data protection measures, such as encryption and access controls, to safeguard customer information. Other companies like Facebook and Cambridge Analytica have faced criticism for their handling of customer data, highlighting the importance of transparency and accountability. One notable example is the case of Fitbit, which has developed a business model that prioritizes user consent and transparency. When customers sign up for a Fitbit account, they're clearly informed about how their data will be used, and they have options to control how their information is shared with third-party apps or advertisers. This approach not only helps to build trust with customers, but also creates a more sustainable business model that's based on mutual value exchange. Another example is the company Peloton, which has developed a data-driven fitness platform that provides users with personalized workouts and insights. While Peloton collects a significant amount of user data, it's transparent about its data practices and provides users with options to control how their information is shared. This approach has helped Peloton build a loyal customer base and establish itself as a leader in the fitness industry. So, what can you do to apply the ethics of data monetization in your own business or career? First, take a close look at your data practices and ensure that you're being transparent with your customers. This means clearly explaining how their data will be used and providing options for them to control how their information is shared. Second, prioritize data minimization and only collect the information that's necessary for a specific purpose. This will help reduce the risk of data breaches and ensure that customer information is not being used for unnecessary purposes. Third, stay up to date with relevant laws and regulations, such as the General Data Protection Regulation and the California Consumer Privacy Act. These frameworks provide guidelines for responsible data handling and can help you navigate the complex landscape of data monetization. Finally, Think about how you can use data monetization to create value for your customers, rather than just exploiting their personal information. This might involve developing new products or services that leverage customer data in a way that's transparent, consensual, and beneficial to both parties. In conclusion, the ethics of data monetization is a critical concept for anyone involved in business or entrepreneurship today. By understanding the core principles, learning from real-world examples, and applying practical tips and strategies, you can ensure that your data practices are both profitable and responsible. Remember, every great business starts with a strong foundation of ethics and integrity. As you navigate the complex world of data monetization, keep in mind that ethics is not just a moral imperative, but also a business opportunity. By prioritizing transparency, consent, and accountability, you can build trust with your customers, differentiate yourself from competitors, and create long-term value for your business. That's it for today's Business with Louis. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to our show for more insights and analysis on the business landscape. Like, share, and subscribe, and remember, every great business starts with action. Make your next move count.